Last season, 100-degree weather was like prime fire weather. It was definitely one of the worst. I think it was maybe a record-breaking season.
Kylie Millward still feels the stress, still feels the weight of her third and final season fighting wildfires in Utah.
What was it about remembering that time that just kind of hit you?
I mean, it was scary. There were some scary times, but I worked with a crew that they varied in experiences, and so there was a lot of trust with their decision making, and they trusted me as well. Because I was based in Salt Lake, we were responding to essentially everything on the front, and that's the hottest part. Sometimes we'd go out to the salt flats or the desert and just bake.
Contending with intense heat both internally and externally during Utah's record-breaking wildfire season.
We wouldn't just run out there. We would establish the escape route, the safety zone, and then any other information that we need to discuss. Last season was pretty exhausting. People get hurt, animals get hurt, natural habitats can be destroyed. I was always thinking about how am I gonna get back?
At times, Kylie would turn to her sketchbook to help keep calm while taking breaks during some of her toughest runs.
Wildland firefighting was not even on my radar growing up.
Her dream was to become an illustrator.
When I met my husband, Noah, he was talking about how he was a firefighter for a few years and, worked in the forest. And I was like, what even is that? I didn't even know that was a career. I actually said aloud, I could never do that. And he was like, yeah, you could.
Years passed, and she couldn't drop the thought of maybe one day becoming a wildland firefighter. She moved to Utah, and that nudged her even closer to the idea.
I never lived in any areas that were as cool as Utah. I lived in a lot of places in the Midwest where there wasn't a lot of hiking or really a lot of anything. But yeah, moving here has really kind of made me an outdoorsy person.
One who could no longer ignore the glaring problems caused when drought and human error mix. Problems that result in this.
Our forests are pretty heavily fuel loaded right now, so they're ready to rip.
Kylie reached out to a crew that just so happened to be led by a man who was passionate about getting more women in firefighting.
There's no question as to whether or not he should hire women, which I thought was really cool.
She was the only woman on the crew for her first 2 seasons, but worked alongside women who were a part of other fire crews.
I was thinking, could I do that? And so maybe it was I was trying to prove something to myself. Yeah, of course you can. I think it has helped me to realize my limits, and also has kind of pushed me beyond those limits in a way. And so I'm more comfortable jumping into something, be it an art project or the work that I do with alpine forestry, and just knowing that I can accomplish it, putting in the hard work.